896-5555. Jacksonville.
Trevor fires for the back of the end zone, and that ball is going to be caught for the touchdown by Brian Thomas Jr. What a throw and catch. He tiptoed along the end line. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Fires deep downfield. Got a man. It's Brian Thomas Jr. 50 in the Colts territory. 35, 30, 25, 10, 5. Touchdown, Brian Thomas Jr. Just went 85 yards.
He's a playmaker. That's what stands out to me. It's just not one thing. We all know he's fast. I can't really point to his releases. Can't really point to how he comes out of his routes. He just makes plays.
Looking, steps up, fires to the back of the end zone. Brian Thomas Jr. Did he double catch it? Yes, it is. Touchdown. He bobbled it, but hung on. Brian Thomas Jr. has the score, and Jacksonville is taking the lead.
Yeah. He's only going to get better once he masters his craft as far as his stance off the line and as far as come off ball. You'll see in games to come, he'll get better. And even next year, he's going to be even that much better than he is right now. Right now, he's just getting his feet wet and showing us what he can do. So I'm looking for this guy to be a big-time playmaker for us in the years to come, and I'm glad to have him part of the Jaguars.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Jaguars Today, off and rolling. Happy Thursday morning to you. It is a happy Thursday. Dylan Denmark, good morning, young man.
Good morning, Mike.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. It feels like Friday.
Hey, why is that? Are you off tomorrow?
No, I'm not off tomorrow. Okay. I'm working tomorrow, but it just feels like Friday, last day for the Jags minicamp. It feels like the last day.
I get that.
For the Jags, like before, school, when you're going before
getaway day,
Christmas
right.
break.
Yeah. Did your teachers, when you were a kid, did you get a party on the last day of school? When I was a really young kid, if you're like first or second grade, I remember we had some parties.
Yeah, elementary school, I remember the parties. Yeah. The others, no, we just sat around.
God, I love that.
Because by the time I was in middle school, high school, we just played on our phone.
I mean, get a piece of cake in the middle of the day was phenomenal as a kid, man. Probably should have eaten less of that along the way. But you know why it's a great day, Dylan? I think you know, but I'll tell you why I think it's a great day. Brian Thomas Jr. out there on the
he is back.
field, right? I mean, just a little bit of a scare yesterday, and that's all it turned out to be. So, saw this from Olivia Tasley of Action Sports Jacks. I hope I pronounced her last name properly on social media. Liam Cohen said he wanted a cleaner day on offense today. Looks like he's spoken into existence as Anthony Campanile is cursing every time a pass is completed. So we're not going to hear him cursing on our air today, I don't think. Anyway, but we've got a lot on the defensive side today as Coach Camp spoke after practice yesterday. Heard from a number of his charges, including Mason Smith, who had I want to say a great practice, right? Because he made a couple of plays back-to-back where he got a big pressure that would have been a sack, and then he had an interception. But that's kind of the nature of being a defensive lineman, Dylan, isn't it? You have that one sack, and you look at the box score, and you're like, that guy had a pretty good game, right? Might be the only play made the whole game. Might get abused in the run game. Not a lot of tackles, but that's just kind of the nature of certain particular stats that we hone in on for these guys. U.S. Open's underway. We're going to have live U.S. Open leaderboards beginning, 11:30?
11 a.m.
So 11 a.m., but we'll have 2 per hour, and it's going to be around the bottom of the hour and about 10 till the top of the hour.
Correct.
Right? So at about 11:30 will be our first U.S. Open leaderboard update. I'll give you one right now, though. J.J. Spawn, 4 under par through 10. Gary Woodland at 3 under, so a couple of American flags at the top. Rory, Adam Scott, Ludwig Oberg, and Siwoo Kim among those at 2 under right now. So pretty good group there. Bryson DeChambeau is at 1 under par. It seems like, and I'm just looking at the USA Network coverage here, looked like there were, I don't know, kind of gray skies off in the distance there. I wonder if they got some rain. It seems like it might be playing a little bit soft there, Dylan, on the greens. Everyone's worried about, ridiculous bounces for approach shots and all that. And but 4 under par for J.J. Spawn. looks like this course has been gettable so far on Thursday morning.
Yeah, I saw Bryson DeChambeau put a video out on his YouTube channel. He played 18, I guess, like a week ago.
Yeah.
And then a couple of YouTube golfers played there. That course looks insane. You hit in the rough, it's like you might as well chalk that up as at least a double.
It's basically the hardest golf course in America, I think, is what, at least championship golf course, that would actually be considered for this level of tournament. I think most people agree this is the toughest test in major championship golf for United, and particularly with the way they set it up. Rough uniformly at 5 inches. So you're like 2 feet off the fairway.
Yeah, did you see Phil Mickelson? He put out something. He was like, "If mower's not working, they're not cutting anything."
No.
You keep seeing the video of the mowers going all around the rough. It's like, what are we cutting here? We're trying by like a half a centimeter?
We're exactly. We're keeping it at a sharp 5 inches. We don't want it to get to 5 1/4. That would be unfair. But anyway, so we'll keep our eye on the U.S. Open. We love golf around these parts, but it's a Jaguar heavy day, as it always is on Jaguars Today. But the last day of minicamp, you're going to hear a bunch of Jaguar content throughout the day as well. And we're starting off with our question of the day, presented by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. What are your expectations for right tackle Anton Harrison in his third year with the Jags? And your 4 options in the poll are: A, he's a Pro Bowl level player. It doesn't mean he'll necessarily make the Pro Bowl because you don't always get that recognition, but he's going to play and be considered one of the better offensive tackles, certainly better right tackles in the game. Option B, he's the unquestioned starter. In other words, he's going to lock that thing down, and we're not going to have this, throughout training camp and into the season, is anybody pushing for Anton Harrison's job. Option 3, he is in a fight for his job. Maybe he'll win it, but this is not going to be easy necessarily along the way. And option 4, he'll be a backup. Not many people thinking that, but that would be an indication that, yeah, he'll be in a fight for his job, but you think he's going to lose that fight. The reason he is center stage, and I was talking about it with Dan Hicken just a few minutes ago, is that Liam Cohen spoke about Anton Harrison yesterday, was asked about him after practice, and here's what he had to say.
Obviously, the footwork, the athleticism, the ability to pass pro on an edge. And when Anton wants to go, he can go. And just consistently doing it on a day-in, day-out basis. Smart. He understands the why of what we're trying to get accomplished. But as much as he can continue to rise going into year 3 and as a first-round pick to take a huge step this year and be a lockdown tackle for us.
So when Anton wants to go, he can go, right? But the consistency. So that to me is a message. You see coaches do it all the time in all the major sports. Sometimes they choose, when that opportunity arises, I'm going to speak this out into the world. And these guys are savvy. They know these players have access to everything. It's not like this a mystery. If they want to know what was said about them, they're going to hear about it. I'm sure Anton Harrison had heard about this before practice ever took place this morning. And look, he started off with basically, he's got every tool you want. Can be a very good pass protector. He's got great feet. He's got the talent to do it. He can go when he wants to go. So, year 3, Anton, what are we going to get? Are you going to have that fire lit under you this year, or is this going to be a squandered opportunity for you? I'm surprised that we're hearing that kind of rhetoric at this point in time from Liam Cohen, because it's a new coaching staff. I think everybody tends to be on their best behavior when you get that new coaching staff and you're going to show them, yeah, I want this, coach. And so for him to say it like that, look, we know they're coming in. They didn't draft him. I don't think they want to throw him to the wayside, but he's got to realize that nothing is going to be handed to him. So Liam Cohen then wrapping up yesterday was asked what he's hoping to accomplish today, meaning Thursday, final day of minicamp.
Yeah, I think tomorrow we tone it back down, which has been planned for weeks now, in terms of go back to 7-on-7, just do one team period, and really it'll be about an hour practice, hour and 15-minute practice, and really try to get some of these young guys work, get some of the rookies and developmentals get a little bit more work, and just make sure we leave here healthy, but also with a solid understanding of how to get lined up, the motions, the shifts. I want tomorrow to be cleaner than today was, and I'll feel a little bit better walking off the field.
All right, well, it sounds like things are heading in that direction, that the offense is having a bounce-back day, and we'll find out. Lauren Brooks is out there. She'll check in next hour. I think they're going to wrap up practice here pretty shortly, so we'll have some fresh Liam Cohen sound to bring to you, as well as some of his thoughts on the conclusion of mini camp. But I do think it's important. We said I don't want to squander a day. I don't want to just wipe it out. But to have this day to kind of reset. Okay, you know what? We had a little bit of the thing with Trevor. They didn't have a scare with the sleeve, right? But he practiced yesterday. Then Brian Thomas falls hard. Just to have everybody back on the field, leaving with some positive thoughts instead of, if yesterday had been the last day, even though it would have been, Brian Thomas could have returned to practice, no big deal, it still would have lingered in our minds a little bit. So just for me and my own personal feeling, happy to see him back out on the field today. All right, we got stuff from Mason Smith today, Emmanuel Ogbah, Jalen McLeod, a little bit from Travis Hunter. As always, try to get a little bit from Travis Hunter, maybe some Wyatt Milam, definitely some Liam Cohen, and Anthony Campanile talking about his charges on the defensive side. We're going to get to as much as we can. And what we don't get to, hey, we've got Friday as well with Tom McManus coming in tomorrow. So a lot to do today. If you want to be a part of the program, as always, on the Checkmate Coatings phone line, 641-1010 is the combination that will get you on board. Same number, 641-1010 for the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also hop in the YouTube virtual studio and post in the chat there, or stream us in any variety. Go to 1010xl.com. You can watch us on Twitter, Facebook. It's all over the internet if you're so inclined. And, of course, hit us up on Twitter with your reply to the poll today at MD_1010XL. And don't forget, at 1010XL Denmark.
The Maxwell House coffee will live on forever.
Apparently it will. Thank you for that multi-billion-dollar investment, Maxwell House. I don't know if that's all coming to Jacksonville, but it's coming in part. The only Maxwell House plant in the USA. So we learned more about that yesterday. All right, we'll keep our eye on the U.S. Open leaderboard, but definitely keep our ear out for practice wrapping up and what Liam Cohen has to say as the Jaguars minicamp comes to a conclusion. And that's it for them on the field until training camp 2025. You're listening to Jaguars Today. We invite you to keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. 1010XL takes you behind the microphone.
We don't take no from anyone.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
We don't take no prisoners. We don't take no for an answer.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Oh, yeah. We don't take no for an answer.
Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. It's been a few months since they built my custom closet. Even my family is obsessed. And with Father's Day right around the corner, why not surprise Dad with his own custom garage workspace? Tool storage, workbenches, the whole works. Closets by Design creates custom solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. That includes Dad's. Call to schedule your free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. Visit closetsbydesign.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
Jacksonville, Florida. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
Watch the Stanley Cup Final at the brand new Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo. Specials include $1 wings and $3 drafts for the Stanley Cup Final at Front Runners Tap House.
Jaguars Today, Thursday, brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser start the week by giving the ball to the best back in Duval.
And off, Fred Taylor.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm and Monahan Jewelers on 1010XL.
Are you experiencing high energy bills? Now is the time to upgrade your old inefficient windows and doors. Don't miss Renewal by Anderson's 30th anniversary sale. For a limited time, buy one, get 130% off all windows and patio doors. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com now to take advantage of this incredible offer. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. Restrictions apply. License number CGC1527613.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Hey, Higgin here for my friends at Zero Res. Gang, vacuuming is not sufficient to maintain the cleanliness and lifespan of your carpet, period. Do not leave deep cleaning to yourself, but do-it-yourself dirt-attracting carpet soaking machines. No. Call on the cleaning freaks from Zero Res. Big summer savings. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129. Take 20% off air duct cleaning as well. Call them, 904-287-5727, and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spelled forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com, powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs or maybe a logoed Sick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. Hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
It's been very easy for me. You know, the guys come in and I bring the juice every day. I always got a smile on my face, making everyone laugh when I get the chance. So we just been fun, having fun, and just being kids out here just loving and living our dream.
Well, Travis Hunter right there to get you started on Jaguars Today. And, you know, some people noted maybe he wasn't the most expansive with some of his answers yesterday. People were speculating, was he upset about, you know, a play didn't go his way in practice, or, you know, some people felt like the report about where he was going to live, where he was buying a house, which he denied that he had bought it. I don't know. I'm personally, Dylan, I couldn't tell you right now where Trevor lives. I don't know.
Yeah, nor does it matter.
I don't care. You know,
for us at least.
But I will say, at the same token, when you live in a city this size, these guys are the celebrities of the city, right? If you're in New York, there are all kinds of celebrities of different walks of life, and here we focus in on these guys so much that there's in some corners there's a thirst to know everything about them. And I get other people think that, hey, that's creepy. Why do we need to know where they live? I don't care. I don't care where any of these guys live. I never pay attention to it. That's not my neighborhood. You know, if it was, hope they're a good neighbor. If not, go about your business. I'm not looking.
Just don't throw parties near Mike.
Oh, you can throw a party near me. I don't mind. Like, I'm not that guy. Like, I threw some ragers in my day. I had the cops called on us at 4 a.m. once, which you've lost track of time when the cops are called on you at 4 a.m. But, so live and let live, man. I'm just whatever. Anyway, Travis Hunter, we love you, baby. And get that contract done, all right? Also, today's question of the day, what are your expectations for right tackle Anton Harrison for 2025 in his third year with the Jags? Will he be A, a Pro Bowl level player, B, the unquestioned starter, C, in a fight for his job, or D, he'll be a backup? Very few people going with the final option. Those second and third options, unquestioned starter in a fight for his job. They are in a fight for supremacy in the poll right now. You can vote at MD_1010XL on Twitter. Let's get a call in here, Dylan, and then we'll get to some of the audio from yesterday. We'll have some fresh stuff from Liam Cohen from today coming up as Stephen Melbourne kicks things off on Jaguars Today on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Steve, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mike. How are you doing this morning?
All right, buddy. What's on your mind?
Just the whole Anton situation. I remember the interview on YouTube with Mia talking to the O-line coach. You know, she specifically asked about the tackles. He gave praise to Walker Little. But then you hear his comments towards Anton pretty much mirroring what Coach Cohen said. Anton has all the potential, high ceiling and everything. Consistency is an issue. And then you hear Cohen saying, yeah, he can play when he wants to. And, you know, Leon made the comment yesterday, like, if I heard that out loud, that'd light a fire under my butt. So, I mean, if I have to choose, he's going to fight for his job right now because he has not played like his rookie year.
I absolutely didn't play like that last year, although he does come in. He gets a fresh, clean slate like everybody else. But you're right, Steve. It does sound like at least that he hasn't taken full advantage of that. The fact that this gets brought up and has been brought up a couple of times, most recently yesterday by his head coach. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's something to be aware of for him. And I hope that does get the fire lit underneath him. I wonder if this is my old roommate, Jim, on the text line right here. I have to check the number. The Sanford Street parties were epic. Oh, yeah. That was one of my locales, Dylan, on Sanford Street in St. Augustine, just a couple blocks from the post office right there, just a few blocks from the campus of Flagler College. We burned it down from time to time at that locale. It's been a number of decades since that. Your boy can't go as hard anymore. All right, let's get to some of this audio. Here's Liam Cohen. Let's talk about the defense a little bit, right? So much attention, Anton Harrison, Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr., Trevor Lawrence, understandably so. Liam Cohen on the defense, not being as far away from being good, coming in, like, did they have a chance to close that gap from where they were to being a really effective defense? And he said they're not that far away. They just needed the right guidance.
Yeah, I think that those guys have had success, right? They've had success. They've had good defenses in the past in some ways, whether it be in the rush or, playing some more vision zone, getting their hands on balls or being top 10 in the NFL in turnovers X amount of years ago. And, really just putting it all together. And just tweaking maybe a few things that ultimately, camp wanted to do and felt like was necessary for us to win games. And it's really hard to simulate, like, are we a good tackling team right now, right? Are we good with block destruction? Like, you can only practice that so much in this time. And so ultimately, so much of playing defense is just not staying blocked and what your strain and finish and mentality's like. And, yeah, we're trying to train it, but you can't quite possibly simulate it right now.
I love it. New stat to track, Dylan. BDs, block destructions. How many blocks did you destroy today? I like that, right? That's a great mentality to have, but I understand you can't simulate a lot of that right now. But what about some of the players adjusting to Coach Camp? Some have worked with him before in some capacities, but Emmanuel Ogbah, Joe C's got a great one-on-one with him. You can find it all the 1010XL channels out there. But what he says is that Coach Camp brings an aggressive defense to the table.
Aggressive defense, a defense that's going to play for our coach, As a player, you want a coach that has your back, Once you get a coach that has your back, you do whatever for that coach. You want to see him succeed. So you're getting a great leader in Coach Camp, and you're also getting an aggressive attacking defense.
We'll hear from Coach Camp himself coming up here quickly. By the way, Emmanuel Ogbah heard some good things. He's looked really good in practice, so that is encouraging. Jags have been seeking that third pass rusher for a few years now. Mason Smith, Hayes Carline caught up with him, who had a good practice yesterday, and he agreed and said everyone likes what Coach Camp is bringing to the building.
The bottom line from when we first started, it was kind of rocky, but now as we go on, everybody getting, like I said, the communication down, starting to learn the defense, starting to trust the defense, and I feel like everybody's liking what Coach Camp is bringing to, the defense to, to the building, so I think it's going to be well for us.
Yeah, it's always going to be a little bit rocky, right? You would think if it's a super smooth transition, you wonder if they're fixing enough of the issues because you got a whole new mindset, new calls, things like that. All right, so we've heard from a vet. We've heard from a second-year player. What about a rookie like Jalen McLeod? Rick Ballou spoke with him on the same subject.
Yeah, he's a linebackers coach. When I be a linebackers coach, he's on it. He's aggressive. He's not scared to be he's rowdy. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need. And he bring it down and coach him. He's not always on 10, but he know when to bring it up. He know when to bring it down. He a great coach.
Can't always be on 10, Dylan. You got nowhere to go, right? Yeah. Right? It's not Spinal Tap. We can't always turn it up to 11. So you gotta pick your spots a little bit there. Let's hear from Coach Camp when we come back on a number of individuals on that defense and what he has seen about that side of the football coming together, and if they're doing it in the fashion and the time frame that he had hoped. Are they at where he expected them to be here at the end of this mini camp wrapping up today down at the Miller Electric Center? Mike Dempsey and Dylan Denmark here with you. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. You know what? I hope you started your day off the right way. That's hopping in the car, swinging over to your area gate station, wherever that happens to be, and filling up your belly with some delicious goodness from Dandy. Great way to start your day with a full line of breakfast items from Dandy. Love their French toast, but they've got peppered fried eggs. They've got bacon. They've got just about anything you can imagine on a breakfast menu. Quick, convenient, on-the-go deliciousness made with the highest quality ingredients. Not just breakfast, of course, and breakfast is good any time of the day. Full line of sandwiches and subs, so if you're looking for something a little bit bigger, a little bit more substantial, they've got that. You want a quick pick-me-up? They got protein packs. They've got fruit cups, veggie trays. They've got light lunchtime wraps. They have gourmet salads. You name it. They've got a little something for everybody there, and they're a Jacksonville-based company, Dandy, D-A-N-D-E-E, and the Anytime Deli line of sandwiches and subs. When you're hungry in Duval, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy. Do it today.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Look at that. Oh, look at how great he looks. Majestic, I want to ride alongside him.
Join the Franchi Show for the drive. Saddle up every afternoon on 1010XL.
It's graduation season, a time to celebrate the end of an era and the beginning of a whole new story. At Diamonds Direct, we believe moments like these deserve to be remembered beautifully. Honor your graduate with a timeless gift. A birthstone ring, a classic pendant, diamond studs, or an heirloom piece they'll treasure forever. No pressure, all sparkle. And expert guidance every step of the way. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Jaguars Today Thursday is towed by Cannons of Jacksonville for all your towing needs.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Your hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
Tired of a plain and boring backyard? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop choice to beautify your home. With pavers, stonework, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, pergolas, and driveways. Visit stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
It's kind of like his own private locker, and you're his guest.
Every time we talk, I'm reinvigorated by my love of the game.
Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010xl.com.
Hayes Blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
Looking for summer fun the whole family can enjoy? Check out Wick, a candle bar. Make your own custom candles and body care products in store at Wick, a candle bar. Locations in San Marco and Jax Beach.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Pretty nice weather we're having, huh?
You think this is nice?
I mean, it's sunny, warm. We do live in Florida.
It's not all upside, Jason. Warm weather comes, so all the cool people hit the beach. My old air conditioner craps out, so it's 1,000 degrees inside, and I'm stuck on a video call in my underpants trying not to sweat through my...
Wait. Put these sunglasses on.
I'm not going to put on your...
Whoa. The air conditioning experts at Bueller Air and Plumbing can keep your home office cool and comfortable all summer long. You look good in your meeting, impress the big guy with your cool confidence, maybe finally make assistant deputy regional manager.
Wow, air conditioning can do that?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all summer worried the weather is going to be too nice, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coating. We transform pool decks, driveways, and patios with pro precision. Checkmate Coating, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it and send them a Kuhn floral arrangement. RJ here with 1010XL, and you'll be assured of a quality delivery. That's for sure. Log on and order online at kuhnflowers.com.
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
What you know about the Colt, Dylan Denmark?
Nothing.
You got to know this one. Learn this one, son. This is a good one. This is from my college days right here. Firewoman. That's good stuff. Nice choice. All right. Even for a guy who doesn't know anything, you did well. You landed on a bullseye there. Still nothing moving on the leaderboard right now. J.J. Spawn, 4 under. Gary Woodland at 3. McElroy in a group with Adam Scott at 2 under par. is where we're at the U.S. Open at Oakmont. Let's see here. We're going to get to Coach Campanile in moments. Rick Ballou tweeting out, Travis Hunter switched over to defense during 11-on-11. So is this the first time Travis Hunter has played both sides in a practice, as far as we know, right?
In front of the media, at least. Because every time he's done defense only, then he's done offense only.
But I think that's been the plan. I think that's what they've said. Like, we're not going to try to overload him, right? We're going to do this. So maybe it was like, all right, final day of minicamp. It's coming. At some point, they're going to have to practice him on both sides, right? You're not going to just alternate days, I don't think, and have him be as effective. Travis Holmes, Big Cat Country, tweet out Cam Little, 5 for 5 to wrap up the period with a long of 57 to 60 yards. I don't know why you don't know the exact number, but whatever. So let's say
sees it from a distance.
Let's say in the high 50s, he said it was good with 15 yards to spare, which is fun. So we know he's got that booming leg.
That's crazy. He's so little, man. It's almost like when you squeeze a golf ball and it just shoots. Like,
it's
I guess
physics,
if you hit
right?
exactly the ball the right way,
it is physics.
Go a long way,
man. I told you I was watching this that new show Stick on I think it's Apple TV with Owen Wilson. He plays a former golfer who, by the way, lost his career by according to the story by losing his mind and blowing up and throwing his clubs when he was playing Sawgrass, right, of all places. And he is mentoring this young kid who was kind of a phenom, but he quit playing golf because his dad made it not fun for him, right? So he sees him at the driving range, and he just hears how the contact of the ball. And this kid is not a big guy. Now, obviously, there's a lot of camera work being done. He's not piping everything 320 on his own on all these shots. I'm sure he's a good golfer. You can tell he's got a good swing, but you watch that and you believe it, Dylan, because golfers come in all shapes and sizes, man, Yeah,
there's no more fat golfers on the tour anymore.
Not too many of those, right? But, I mean, in terms of the height, like, it does work to your advantage up to a certain point. The longer the levers, the more speed you can create and all that. But some of these smaller stature golfers can bomb it like absolute craziness. Anyway, good show. I'm always on the lookout for something, and I think there are 4 episodes available right now on Apple TV if you've got that. All right, so got you all caught up on what's happening around us. Let's get to Coach Camp, Anthony Campanile, speaking yesterday. And why don't we start off with the guy who Rick Ballou just pointed out on social media is playing, just switched over to defense, said the obvious, Travis Hunter has a wealth of talent.
Yeah, he just has, a wealth of talent, and he's a super intelligent guy, which makes it really fun. He's really quick on the uptake. So he's a fun guy to coach, to be around. I know his position coaches love coaching him, and it's pretty impressive to watch a guy do that. I think it's cool. It's been really fun. But I also think the coaches, Coach Milas, Drew Lascari, Anthony Perkins, and Bill Sheridan, those guys have done a great job of just getting him up to speed on everything. And, he's done a great job responding to it.
Did you see the clip, Dylan, of Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport discussing Travis Hunter yesterday?
No.
Okay, it's about maybe 90 seconds. Pretty easy to find. I think Rappaport tweeted out a link to it. Regardless, they were talking about the fact, his contract's not done, and because that's come up a lot. And Rappaport's basically like, look, it is what it is. He's going to get this amount of money. It's slotted in. Really, the question is the payment schedule on some of this stuff. And he almost argued against himself a little bit. He's like, well, there's no reason for this to be held up. But he also said this is probably the last one that's going to get done. Well, if there's no reason for it to be held up, what's the complicating factor? He goes, well, sometimes like with a quarterback, generally they get all their bonus money up front. For years, I always thought signing bonus meant that, right? You sign, they hand you a check.
Yeah, within that week or two of you signing that contract.
I thought it was like basically you sign it, here you go. You signed. This is your bonus. Right now, I'm signing, I get my signing bonus. But sometimes those are deferred, they're delayed. He was talking about, do they pay some of it now, some of it in September? Is that really a hang-up? Like, Shad Khan wants 2 more months of interest? You know what I mean?
That don't sound right.
It doesn't, right? But he acknowledged, he goes, look, our Jaguar coverage is probably ramped up 10 times what it typically is. Now, shame on you for undercovering them to that degree. I get it. They haven't been front and center, but I do feel like they're an afterthought sometimes nationally. But he goes, look, this is the Travis Hunter phenomenon. He's bringing the eyes and the interest of people, and we are discussing the Jags more than ever, and he's going to be one of the most fun players. Anyway, it's a good clip. It's out there at Rap Sheet. You could probably find it out there on social media. Maybe Dylan will dig it up, and we'll retweet it so you can listen to it for yourself and see if I did a decent job describing what those guys were discussing yesterday. All right, so next from Coach Camp, how is Travis Hunter adjusting to playing on both sides of the ball right now?
Yeah, just kind of my point before. I think it really takes a sharp person to do that. You know what I mean? He's just blessed with a lot of intelligence and maturity. So it's impressive to watch for sure.
Yeah, all right. I mean, love to hear that, right? Let's not forget, academic All-American. Everything you hear from all these coaches, super smart, super sharp, ask questions, engaged. It's everything you want. Now, that seems like that should be the bare minimum, right? Well, okay, but you don't always get that, and you're getting it. So let's hope he stays healthy and he lives up to the promise. I mean, the expectations, I don't know what is the limit for Travis Hunter? I mean, first ballot Hall of Famer, right? That's the kind of talent he is. Is he going to be that? That's a lot to ask of a guy, but you've got to have the intangibles to go with the tangibles. The tangibles are the quickness, the foot speed, the instincts, the everything that goes into actually playing the position, but the intangibles of the work ethic and the attitude and all that, he seems to be the complete package. All right, what about Tyson Campbell? Been hearing some really good things, by the way, about Tyson Campbell throughout the last few weeks in particular. Here's Coach Camp on Campbell.
I really am really fired up about everything he's done this offseason because he's competed so hard in the practices. He's fighting for every rep, whether it's at the top of the route, on the line of scrimmage, in the break area. He's just really trying to play with a lot of detail. And I think a lot of that shows up, if you were to sit and watch his individual, he's competing his tail off an individual. You know what I mean? So it's been super detailed, and he's an awesome guy to coach, man. For real, he's an awesome guy. He's a great person, but he's a great guy to coach, too, because he's a competitor.
Yeah, I love hearing Tyson Campbell's got all the ability, right? Will he put it all together? I'm cautiously optimistic this is going to be the best season for him if he stays healthy. That's been the biggest question with Tyson Campbell. Will it happen? Time will tell. What about Eric Murray? What are you seeing from the safety who most recently toiled for the Houston Texans?
He's doing great. I said last time I was up here just about the type of communicator he is and what that brings into the room, just the whole unit defensively. I've been used to being around guys in that position. That position can always kind of be like a glue guy because he's a great communicator. It's quarterback of the defense, and he's really done a great job with that. But he's played really physical, and he just really understands concepts and the concepts of the defense really well. And I think the guys like Perk has done a really good job getting him ready and acclimated in this new system. And he's done a ton extra, to get to where he is right now, which is cool.
Well, I mean, it sounds like he's being looked at as kind of like maybe the Foye Oluokun of the secondary, right? Making sure everybody's on the same page, knowing what the assignment is, that kind of stuff. The glue guy, so to speak. I mean, I think his job security is pretty high, Dylan. I don't look at anybody really as a strong contender to knock him off his perch. I'd be surprised if he's not your opening day starting strong safety, and then he's got to play at a certain level to maintain that. But it would be surprising to me if he's not at least looked at that as they open the season this year. Mason Smith, big practice yesterday. We'll hear from Mason coming up in hour number 2. Here's what Coach Camp had to say about him.
Yeah, I think he's a competitor. He's a guy who wants to be a really good player, which is awesome. You want people like that. We're blessed with that. In my opinion, being here in the short time I've been here, there's a lot of guys who love to compete, and he wants to be a really good player. He was coached by Pete Jenkins in college, who I have so much respect for Coach Jenkins, and he's really a detailed guy. And the guys that are coaching him right now, Matt Edwards, Derek LeBlanc, those guys are doing a great job. But just the detail of his preparation every day. He's coming to work to get work done.
Not saying they would not have had, a rookie defensive tackle on this team if the right guy was available at the right time. But I think coming out of the draft, Mason Graham was the talk for months. And not only do they not invest early, they didn't invest at all in the NFL draft, at least. Now, undrafted rookies, yeah, they brought in some defensive linemen, but I mean, that shows some level of confidence in Eric Armstead and Mason Smith, along with the guys who are going to be competing to man the nose tackle position. And, of course, they're all going to be looking to get that push in the inside, which will benefit the edge guys. So what has Coach Camp seen from Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen?
Those guys are they're great people, like, first and foremost, because they love to work. They love to learn. They're guys that like to get coached. You know what I mean? Which, for guys who have had that type of success, sometimes that's not always the case in pro ball, but those guys are really, really coachable. And they're out here working every day. You know what I mean? They ain't skipping a rep, missing a drill. Like, they're doing everything that we're asking them to do, and they're going full tilt. So, been really impressed with the way they've been out here working every day.
Well, you know why that is, though? They're well rested, right? They got plenty of sideline reps last year.
This.
I'm just pointing it out. No, we're not going to go deep into it, right? But yes, I will make a snarky aside on
they better be
Ryan Nielsen's usage last year. They should be well rested. Let's put it that way. So not surprising they're taking part in everything. We're going to do this. All right. We heard Coach Camp weigh in on Eric Murray. What about the rest of the safety room? How's that shaping up?
I mean, it's been really competitive, and I think Antonio Johnson has done a great job too. Those guys are all, and they're real positive with each other in the room. If you're in there, they're kind of coaching each other up. Out on the field, they're coaching each other up. So, competition's a great thing. That's a great problem to have. And our guys are going about it the right way, trying to help each other through it. But they are competing every day, and we got some good guys back there, some smart guys back there, like you said, Dewey, Sav. Having Sav back's awesome too, because he's a sharp dude and has a bunch of ability. I think Caleb's done a really good job. I think he was coached really well in college also, because he's a sharp guy. He's got clean feet, moves really, really well. Good athlete, and he's doing extra every day too. Just get caught up, obviously coming in after those guys, but he's doing a good job for us.
All right, they're all great. Everybody's great. We love them all, right? But if I'm Antonio Johnson, I don't know the way the question was asked, right? I don't know, because he set up the response, and Coach Campanile said, and Antonio Johnson too. So I wonder if you said, hey, what about that safety room with guys like Savage and Ransaw competing? But I'd feel good that my coach, my defensive coordinator, brings my name up, and Antonio Johnson, I've heard his name a few times, making some splash plays. So we'll see. I mean, he's a talented player. That unit yet to be determined how that all shakes out in the end. I still think Eric Murray, that experience, and what you heard Coach Campanile talk about earlier, kind of the glue guy, getting everybody in the right place at the right time, that's going to play big with so much changing, with a new defense coming in. But Antonio Johnson, put your best foot forward, and who knows where you're going to land. And then finally, from Coach Campanile from yesterday, just talked about an appreciation. It's ironic, Tom Coughlin was in with Dan Hicken this morning for about an hour, and if you missed it, always great stuff with those two guys, and they have great chemistry. They've been working together with the J Fund for years, and just to hear Coach Coughlin tell stories is always a treat. But, he coached you hard, right? Anthony Campanile said yesterday that he's got a real appreciation for players who had that hard coaching coming up at the high school and college level.
Yeah, I think, I mean, most, I won't say most of them, but some of the best coaches I've ever met in my life are in high school. The guy I work for in high school, I think, is one of the greatest football coaches that ever lived. So, I mean that sincerely. He's an animal, and he's just a great football coach. You go to practice every day, you're going to get better. So, when I think of great coaching and guys who've had an effect on me, Coach Toll, my father's a high school coach, my brothers are. Those guys basically shape the way I coach, the way I think, and I have an appreciation. You can usually tell the guys that come from a program where they were coached hard, because the reality is the only way to get better is to be honest. You know what I mean? Like in anything, nothing gets better without honesty. So if they've been around guys who have a good foundation of knowledge that can help them and are going to be honest with them, then, they never get... See, I think sometimes guys confuse being coached and being evaluated, and when a guy can take the coaching, it's a big help to him. And guys who have been in that environment usually thrive, to continue to be coached.
I love it, man. Who doesn't love a defensive coordinator that gets up in your grill, man? And by the way, I feel like he was looking right at you when he said there are some really great high school coaches out there, Mark.
Right through the YouTube screen.
I thought
I
thought that at least mentally he kind of looked up and he saw a picture of Coach Denmark leading the Baldwin Charges through some drill or other at the high school level. That's probably what he was thinking of when he gave that answer. All right, good stuff from Coach Camp. Everybody seems to love him. Everybody loves everything, right? We all love everything. We're all Jaguar good.
Except Anton can be a little bit better.
Except Anton can probably work a little harder.
That's the only one.
Or when he can go when he wants to. That's your question of the day today. Anton Harrison, what are your expectations for him here in year 3 with the Jaguars? Will he be a Pro Bowl level player, an unquestioned starter in a fight for his job, or he'll be ultimately a backup for this football team? You can vote accordingly at MD_1010XL on Twitter. We'll hear from Emmanuel Agba, Mason Smith, among others, as we get into hour number 2. Lauren Brooks going to stop by with a final mini camp report as well, and we're hopeful to bring you some of the thoughts of Liam Cohen wrapping up today's minicamp for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mike Dempsey, Dylan Denmark here with you on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting. They're right here locally in Jacksonville Beach, and they know what it takes to get your home hurricane ready. Get your roof prepared. The rainy season is no joke. If you've got damaged leaks or your roof is just plain worn out, don't wait. Apex is local. They're dependable. They're going to show up on time with only the most premium materials and ironclad warranties. No shortcuts, no stress, only quality work that you can trust. Reach for the peak. Don't settle. That's Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach and online at apexroofingfl.com.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. Summertime fun.
Sweet home Alabama all summer long.
Now that's hot. 1010XL.
Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal Conditions.
Ideal Conditions Heating and Air Conditioning is your go-to for all AC repairs and replacements. Just gas your AC. For exceptional service, call 904-500-COOL or visit idealconditionsjax.com to schedule your estimate today.
Call 904-500-COOL.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal Conditions.
Idealconditionsjax.com.
Is your roof ready for hurricane season? When storms hit, you need more than just a roof. You need trust. Valor Roofing Company is veteran-owned and operated, serving all of Florida with integrity and quality craftsmanship. From minor repairs to full replacements, they'll treat your home like it's their own. Estimates are always free, and veterans receive a special discount on all roofing services. Visit ValorRoofingCo.com and protect your home with people who care. GAF certified license CCC 1334864.
Jaguars Today, Thursday, is brought to you by
Cannons of Jacksonville.
Your yard starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC, Russell Tree Care? At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
I'm Drew Scrimshire, president and publisher of the Jacksonville Business Journal. In business, timing is everything. That's why every morning at 8:15, our morning edition delivers the most important business news straight to the inboxes of Jacksonville's decision makers, executives, entrepreneurs, investors, and industry leaders. Want to know what the First Coast power players are reading before they start their day? Join them. Subscribe today to the Jacksonville Business Journal Morning Edition at bizjournals.com/Jacksonville.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Get it? With the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
I'm Stacy, and I want to tell you about my fogged up window fiasco at my house. I called up Mac at Baker Glass. He told me all I needed was a glass replacement. The process was so easy. All within a few days, they came out, measured, called me with an estimate, cut my glass, and came out to install the new ones. Now my view outside is fog-free thanks to Mac and his crew at Baker Glass. And my neighbors think I got some fancy new windows.
I'm Mac with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I'm 1010XL's media mogul, Dan Hicken, and before the weekend hits, I break down what to watch and where to be. Catch Musings with the Media Mogul on YouTube and Facebook, provided by Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
The 2025 season schedule has dropped, and single-game tickets are on sale now. Be at the bank to watch Travis Hunter, Trevor Lawrence, and the Jaguars take on the biggest names in the NFL. Don't miss your favorite matchup and secure your tickets now by visiting Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. See you this fall, Jags fans.
Yes, sir. That's the best decision.
I love it.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by TopDressing.com. Being himself is something that the Jacksonville Jaguars front office wants from their number 2 overall pick, Travis Hunter. Yesterday, the dual threat spoke to the media following minicamp and spoke on how he's letting his personality shine so far with the ball club.
It's been very easy for me. You know, the guys come in and I bring the juice every day. I always got a smile on my face, making everyone laugh when I get the chance. So we just have been fun, having fun, and just being kids out here just loving and living our dream.
Sound courtesy of Jaguars.com. Florida State baseball juniors Jamie Arnold and Alex Lodice have earned their second All-America honors in as many days as the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association has named the FSU duo to its All-America first team. Right now, 86 degrees at 10:59. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Ha! I did some sleuthing. Dylan on the text line. That's my boy EA hitting me up about those Sanford Street parties. Yeah, they were for a period of time. A lot of trouble in the neighborhood. But Eric was a Flagler College guy like me. And we used to play intramurals together, pick up together all the time. And, bro, I'll never forget. I came so close to being posterized in an intramural game. My man threw... I don't know who he had on his team. I don't remember the kid. He had springs, though, and he threw like an underhand alley-oop off the backboard, right? And I'm I'm trailing, trying to maybe go for the block, and he throws that off the backboard knowing he's got Mr. Hops trailing me, and my man almost two-hand threw it down right on my head, but he missed the dunk. It was one of those.
That's unfortunate.
It was unfortunate for him. It was I might have been scarred for life. It was such a beautiful, well-executed play. And I'm sure they're waiting for it. I tried to block everything back in the day. I was always trying to get everything, man. And, almost had that two-hander thrown right down on my head.
Yeah, I remember doing that at my old elementary school. We used to play we be in high school, we playing on the 7-foot rims.
Oh, bro. George Marks Elementary in DeLand, Florida was 2 minutes on my BMX bike from my house. And we used to go play dunk ball there all the time. The court was like elementary school size, right? So you could go down the court in 3 dribbles practically, right? And it was just, watch out, you're probably going to break your wrist because either you're trying to block somebody's dunk or you're dunking on somebody and you're...
Yeah, don't be by the rim.
Yeah, we used to play, and we had another one. There was a Blue something was the name of like a middle school in DeLand, and we'd have to hop the fence for that one because we're not supposed to be playing there. But they had 9-foot rims. Now, that's a lot of fun. 9-foot rims, it's still something to dunk on somebody on a 9-foot rim, but... put it this way. I could dunk on a 10-foot rim. I couldn't dunk on you on a 10-foot rim. There was no chance of that happening. 9-footers, man, that was blood sport back in the day. Oh, just reminiscing down memory lane. JJ Spawn, 4 under, has a 1-shot lead over Gary Woodland and Thomas Detry, who just rolled in a birdie on the 9th hole at Oakmont. That's top of your leaderboard right now. Rory has fallen back to 1 under. So is Adam Scott. We've got updates coming for you starting in about 25 minutes here and then all throughout the day. Today, tomorrow, over the weekend, U.S. Open coverage on 1010 XL. Before we get to some of the stuff we had lined up from yesterday, Dylan, why don't we hear what Liam Cohen opened up with? Is his presser wrapped up now? Is he done talking?
I do not know.
Okay, well, he was speaking as of 8-9 minutes ago. He was speaking to the media after the final practice, and here's what he had to say in his opening remarks.
Techniques, alignment, assignment, right? I mean, we're not really judging as much, did he make the play or not? It's more, hey, can we break the huddle, or can we get a call in and go execute? And I think you're fairly pleased with where you're at right now.
Travis had a chance to switch.
All right, hit us up on, he was talking about Travis Hunter switching both sides, right? Do you have that one?
You have to build towards.
Bit of what to expect?
Yeah, I think so. That's definitely what we have to build towards for training camp. And then obviously in season, knowing that during practice, he's going to have to do both. And so, he wants to do it. It's not as if it's something where he can't handle. He wants to go and do that more. He wants more, and that's a good thing. But ultimately, we have to also protect him from himself at times as well and make sure we get out of this phase healthy. But that is absolutely the plan moving forward.
Look, you're going to have to, you're not going to go alternate all throughout training camp into the season. He's going to have to do a little bit of both. I mean, he's going to do it on Sundays to a large degree. Man, I'm so excited to see how this plays out. I mean,
Are you worried at all that they're putting at all too much on him?
No. That's why you went up and got him, right? I mean, it is a lot, but you believe in the vision of what he can do, right? This is not.
No, I'm not denying the ability, but as a coaching staff, putting too much on him too early to where he doesn't.
Are you worried about it?
I'm not. No.
All right.
I don't think anybody that listens to the show is, but I'm just throwing it out there. Like, learning an offensive playbook is hard in and of its own, and then learning a defense from two people that have never been a head coach. One, I know Cohen's called plays before, and then Campanile's called the defense. Now he's got guys around. He's got Jordan Lewis. He's got veterans to help him. But is it too much to learn too much at one time? And what? I mean, they started with Ricky Manicamp about 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the concepts, right? I think he can physically do it. Everyone talks about what a smart guy is, and let's be honest. Up until now. Yes, he's got to learn it, but he's each day up until today, he's been able to focus on one thing. Like he knows the night before, okay, tomorrow, I'm a wide receiver. Here's what we're going to go over. He's got an idea. He's out there working early. We've heard that last week at OTAs. It was last Monday. He was out there at 7 a.m. catching balls from Trevor Lawrence out there on the field. So I just think this is a rare individual, man. This is a guy who's built for this. If he's not built for it, no one is because he's shown it. So that's where we're at. Right now, with all that. All right. So I tell you, before let's hold off on that, Dylan. We got Lauren coming up. Let's get a couple of thoughts in here from Emmanuel Agba. I think we've got up next here, and Joe Coward sat down with him briefly after practice yesterday. Probably stood, honest, if we're being honest about it. But you can find that Joe C. interview over at 1010XL.com and any of our social channels. But how did Emmanuel Ogbah end up with the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I've been talking to Camp after the offseason, so he definitely told me he wanted me in Jacksonville, knowing I had only a one-year contract with Miami. So I know I was talking with Miami too, trying to get back to Miami, but Camp, I respect Camp. He's probably one of the reasons why I'm here. So he's a great leader and great leader of men, and he's a good family-oriented coach. He cares about you. So I wanted to play for him. He got his opportunity to be a defensive coordinator. I wanted to go out there and show up.
All right. It's not like he broke the bank. I mean, look, by normal person standards, $5 million, yeah, you're breaking the bank, right? But, I mean, this is a very reasonable veteran, proven edge rusher contract that he got, and it was an opportunity for him. He obviously had Jacksonville on his mind. I don't think this thing came together in the few hours on the Sunday after the draft, right? They had him on the short list. Hey, if it goes a certain way in the draft, we may be calling you. They got it done. They executed. So Emmanuel Ogbah comes in and expected to come off the bench to supplement Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker. What are his thoughts on playing with that duo?
Aggressive defense, a defense that's going to play for our coach. As a player, you want a coach that has your back. Once you get a coach that has your back, you do whatever for that coach. You want to see him succeed. So you're getting a great leader in Coach Camp, and you're also getting an aggressive attacking defense.
That was the one on Coach Camp being an aggressive defense. Here specifically is Ogbah talking about Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon.
Oh, definitely. I watched those guys in Miami. My time in Miami, I watched Josh Allen for a long time. Trey, young kid, going out there balling. But, yeah, I was excited to sign with them because I know what type of dominant force we could be. I'm just grateful to be here. Those are talented players, and they make me want to go hard. I love competition. I see them out there. I want to make a play too, So we feed off of each other.
All right, one more from Emmanuel Ogbah. What about the leadership he's seeing from head coach Liam Cohen?
Yeah, I like Liam, spent time in Tampa. I did what's called joint practice with Tampa. So, I like Liam. He's a great offensive-minded coach. He brings that leadership also. He brings that, like I said, that family where you got to come out here and work. We need that as a team, especially a young team. We need that work, and we got to come out here and grind for it. So.
Hey, look, Ogbah sounds excited to be here. Take him at his word. I'm excited to have him here, man. He was second in yesterday's poll. We asked you which of these four defensive newcomers will have the biggest impact. Jordan Lewis winning the poll yesterday with 54%, but 21% said Ogbah will, and that's pretty impressive considering most people think that he'll be what he is, which is the third pass rusher coming off the bench. Ransall got 18% in the vote, and Eric Murray with 7% of the vote yesterday. So speaking of Liam Cohen, we heard Coach Camp weigh in on Mason Smith. Here's what Cohen had to say. Mason Smith had a big day at practice yesterday. What has he seen from the second-year Jaguar?
He's a big one for us. We need him to take a huge step this year. I think he's done a great job when you talk about the offseason program in the weight room, in the conditioning, his mentality with the work ethic, and then coming out here and making it hard, right? You ultimately, when you're 325 pounds and you can move and you've got long arms, man, and he's got the want to. I've seen that so far. Ultimately, it's got to continue to translate, and I think he will. I think the coaches have done a great job getting him going, and he's dedicated himself to it so far.
Keep this in mind, all right? We're not trying to bury Anton Harrison today. When we ask it, when you hear the quote from Liam Cohen yesterday, he can go when he wants to, which indicates that, got to see that more consistently. That was his next sentence, okay? Last year, Mason Smith, healthy scratch numerous times. He himself admitted, people thought, this is this Peterson trying to stick it to Bulky, right? Didn't want the pick, and he's trying to stick it to him. Mason Smith said, no, I wasn't being a pro. I had to learn how to be a pro. I had to learn about the work ethic and what it takes. And now you hear Liam Cohen saying, this guy is giving you everything he's got, putting it all together, and it's nice to see. So it's not like Anton Harrison's being written off here, but take advantage of the message that is being sent to you and get into training camp and show us that you can be a high-level, counted-on, consistent piece of the successful offensive line here in Jacksonville. We'll hear from Mason Smith himself, coming up here and see what else we have time for. Get you some U.S. Open leaderboard updates before the hour is out as well. Lauren Brooks scheduled to join us coming up next to give us her observations on the final day of Jaguar mandatory minicamp. Mike Dempsey, Dylan Denmark here with you. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Pella Windows and Doors. Got them in my house. Proud to say that. They look fantastic. The house feels great because Pella windows are super energy efficient. I've got a sliding glass door done by them as well. My house looks great. Yours can as well. If it's time, maybe you just need one window replaced, whatever the case may be, you can upgrade your entire home, 0% financing for 60 months, 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
You're locked into Jaguars Today Thursday with Cannons of Jacksonville.
Hi, this is Joe Theismann.
This is Sports Illustrated model Brooklyn Decker.
This is Donovan McNabb.
You're listening to 1010XL.
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 92.5 FM.
Hi, I'm Malcolm Anthony. If you've been charged with a crime, you don't have to face it alone. I'm here for you. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me. 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW in the 904.
Watch the Stanley Cup Final at the brand new Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo. Specials include $1 wings and $3 drafts for the Stanley Cup Final at Front Runners Tap House.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner with honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
Guys, your lawn's the home field. Now you can champion your St. Augustine grass. TopDressing.com just hit Jacksonville with a game-changing patented process. Aerate and transform your turf into a fairway-worthy masterpiece. Less water, shorter cuts, and the envy of every neighbor. No one else delivers a perfect 10 lawn like this. Visit TopDressing.com and dominate your block with the same process that golf courses use. Top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
I insist on complete honesty.
You can chime in anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
If you have something to say to me, I wish you would just say it.
Share your opinion.
Are you nuts?
What? 641-1010.
That's crazy. Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece. Premium flooring. Take our advice. Home business. Affordable price. Driveways, pool decks, garage doors. Beautiful patios and more to explore. Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood. Underwood has completed 75 years in business, and now you are starting your next 75 years. If you were going to simplify things, what is the single most important thing in Underwood's history, and what will be the most important thing in your future?
Frank, that's simple. Our honesty and integrity. You know, our founder, H.F. Underwood's favorite saying was, know the truth and tell the truth. That's why we're the longest standing member of the American Gem Society in Florida. Because we know you have to have the knowledge about gemstones before you can tell the truth about them. That's why we continue to educate our staff through the Gemological Institute of America and the American Gem Society. In fact, today, Underwood's has the largest American Gem Society credentialed staff of professionals east of the Mississippi River. So come by and see why we're looking forward to the next 75 years and let one of our experts assist you.
That's at Underwood's, serving excellence since 1928. In San Marco, Avondale, the shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
Prosser here. Get those boats ready. The Dailies Old School Kingfish Shootout, presented by Yellowfin, is almost here. It's Saturday, June 14th. Just go to oldschoolkingfish.com to find out more. The grand prize is a Yellowfin bay boat worth $125,000, and with limited boundaries, no bait buying, and no checkout, it is seriously old school. Here's how you do it. You go online, you sign up, and you become part of what was always a terrific tournament. It's the Old School Kingfish Shootout. oldschoolkingfish.com.
As a Florida homeowner, you're no stranger to mosquito problems. And although it's tempting to use DIY methods to get rid of them, mosquitoes are relentless. That's why it's important to enlist the help of the mosquito experts at Florida Pest Control. At Florida Pest Control, we offer specialized treatment solutions that are effective against mosquito infestations and are committed to keeping our customers protected year-round. For your free quote, give us a call or visit flapest.com today. Florida Pest Control, your local mosquito control experts.
What is the busiest airport in the world?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport is the busiest airport in the world, serving over 100 million passengers.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Yo, ET here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your pool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, I spoke with Lauren Brooks. She's on her way back from the Miller Electric Center. So she'll join us coming up in maybe 10, 12 minutes, something like that, and give us her final observations on minicamp wrapping up today. Lauren was out there for every day of the minicamp. We've got some fresh audio from Liam Cohen we're going to lay on you here in a moment. Mason Smith speaking yesterday. Want to get a few of his thoughts in. But, Dylan, we got to take a moment to go around the National Football League.
Now, gems around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
All right, just a couple of stories here. Cincinnati Bengal first-round rookie Shamar Stewart skipped the final day of that team's mandatory minicamp after sounding off on his lingering contract dispute earlier this week. At one point, saying that the team is more concerned with winning arguments than winning games, as what the hang-up is in the past, if you've had an off-field indiscretion, something that violates the conduct policy, the Bengals' contract setup would void whatever guarantees you had for that year, and they'd be wiped out. What they want to put in Stewart's contract is if you have that kind of an issue, it'll wipe out all the guarantees in your contract for all the years of your contract, which is unprecedented. Now the Bengals' position is times change. Eventually, somebody's got to be the first to do it. They think it'll get done. And you can also look on the one hand and say, well, if you're not going to have any conduct issues, what are you worried about, right? But I'm more in the Shamar Stewart camp here, Dylan, than I am the Cincinnati Bengals on this one. And speaking of the Bengals, Jermaine Pratt released, in the last couple weeks, ends up signing a 1-year, $4.25 million deal with the Raiders, where he may be the starting middle linebacker. A lot of folks thought he'd go to Indianapolis because Cincinnati's defense coordinator from last year is now on the Indy coaching staff. That didn't work out. So Jermaine Pratt, who has been one of the leading tacklers in the National Football League last couple of years, goes out to the desert to play for Las Vegas. There you go. Look around the NFL, a brief one at that. We got a U.S. Open leaderboard update coming up in less than 10 minutes. Let's get to Liam Cohen. We wanted it, Dylan. We wanted to see the offense bounce back. Okay, defense got the edge the last 2 days. I wanted to see the balance return. The balance has returned to the force or something along those lines. Some Star Wars person could quote that better. For me, balance has been restored. Liam Cohen said the offense did have a cleaner day today.
Yeah, I thought it was just less balls on the ground in general, less procedures. There was less flags on the ground today thrown by our lovely referees that came from the NFL. It was great. Once those refs come, NFL guys come, it's real. They're throwing the real flags, and it was great having those guys in the building and hearing their reasons why. And so that definitely helped clean it up a little bit. And specifically offensively, I felt like it was just a better overall day. We wanted to leave here with good momentum and confidence that these guys can go and have and take through the offseason program.
Again, it's not the end of the world if it didn't go this way, but it was part of the reason I really wanted them to fulfill all the days of the mini camp, right? The old coaches always say we don't have enough time with these guys, and they wipe out a day of OTAs or mini camp or whatever for team bonding. And I mean, I get it. They have a thumb on the pulse of their team better than I do, but I was happy to see him out there today, and happier that Brian Thomas Jr. participated. Everybody did, it seemed, and that the offense did have something to build on heading into the break now. So, last one from Liam Cohen for us today. You'll hear more from him throughout the course of the afternoon on 1010XL. What about the growth he has seen from Trevor Lawrence since he's gotten here?
Yeah, I think just calling a play, right? Like you go out here on day one of phase 2 and you're calling plays, and whether it be a call it and run it play or a play with 2 calls or a play with 2 calls and maybe a third adjustment, just his ability to go in and command the huddle, call plays, communicate to his teammates, make protection adjustments. I mean, our defense, like I mentioned the other day, has thrown so many different blitz packages at us that multiplicity is great. It'll be really good for our foundation this fall, but he has to think every single play. Like, there's not a ton of plays that he can just shut his brain off and go hand it off. So that has been a huge kind of adjustment in some ways, but also growth, where he's shown the ability to go get us in the right plays, can to the right call, and make the proper calls. I think that's where you've seen the most growth.
All right, there you go. Look, playing quarterback, it's a big job. This is Liam Cohen's number one job, is to get Trevor Lawrence playing at the highest level possible. I saw Demetrius Harvey tweeting out that Trevor Lawrence shedded a little light, or shedded some light. Did I say that right? Shed light on his arm sleeve. Demetrius says, moral of the story, he's a bit sore, and that makes sense. Do we have that audio from Trevor, or is that?
Let me pull it up here.
Let's see if we can. I'd like to hear what he had to say.
30 seconds.
About that. I will stall for you while Dylan pulls that all together right now. Also, Netflix going to do a doc on the Dallas Cowboys. That's what we need. That America's team stuff shoved down our throat a little bit more. That's exactly America's team, the Gambler and his Cowboys. The Gambler has struck out greatly at the craps table for the last 3 decades. But Jerry Jones still does have those 3 Super Bowl rings to fall back on. Here's Trevor speaking about why he has been wearing that arm sleeve in recent days.
Soreness, could you just talk about that?
Yeah, just, you got to think about it. I hadn't thrown since OTAs since December. So, December. So it was about 4 months of not throwing, and that's like I don't know the last time. I can't tell you the last time I did throw for 4 months. I guess 4 years ago when I got surgery. So I think just going from that to I started throwing a couple weeks before we started the off-season program, but then we jumped into practice and heavy volume, and I think just over time, obviously you got to adjust and got to get in shape for that. So just a little bit of soreness. The compression helps just relieve some of that, but that's all it is. So nothing I'm concerned about.
All right, he doesn't sound concerned at all. If you could gather that, obviously he took a break, right? He'd probably, would have ramped up the throwing a little bit more slowly over a longer period of time, it sounds like. He did a little bit of throwing in the weeks leading up to OTAs and minicamp, but it's just, a lot of work in a short period of time. Doesn't sound like he's concerned. Didn't sound like Liam Cohen was concerned. So on we go. Trevor, you want to play with that sleeve every week? Not going to bother me. Let's get 2 quick ones in here, Dylan, from Mason Smith. You can hear the entire interview with Hayes Carline, and Mason Smith said he wants to be versatile in the Anthony Campanile defense.
When I think of his scheme, I think of versatility, and that was a big thing for me coming into the league, you know what I'm saying, being able to play all the way from 0, And I've had time in college, early on in college, just playing the end. So, just playing from the zero all the way to the, 6'6". And, they got me playing all the way from the nose all the way to the big end. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the thing I like. I'm being able to rush, do what I do. Do what I do best, you know what I'm saying? So he's just allowing me to show, the best of my traits, and putting me in position to do what I got to do.
You can hear JP Shattuck in the background thanking the crowd for showing up yesterday. By the way, so he's playing anything from nose tackle to big end, right? And everything in between. He likes that, keeps him fresh. That'll be interesting to see how much he plays nose with Armstead on the field. Will they be on the field a lot at the same time? One more quick one here from Mason Smith. What has this offseason been like compared to his rookie offseason?
I'm saying it was good to get off. But for me, honestly, I got a chip on my shoulder. And I feel like I bring that every day. So, I got back to work. I was in here for, a month and a half before everybody, trying to get back into it. You know what I'm saying? Because, I was traveling around trying to go to this training facility, that training facility. And you know what I'm saying? At one point, I was just like, I got everything I need at home. So, I came back. I just got to it early with Coach Ciano, just getting in, meeting the coaches up. But it was great, man, not having to worry about how to run a 40 or, just doing a whole bunch of stuff that in hindsight really doesn't matter. So, yeah, it was good to get back to just football.
It reminded me of Eddie Murphy, and his mom, we ain't going to McDonald's. We got house burgers for you. When we got home. I got everything I need at home. It's right there for you. And those are better anyway. But Mason Smith sounds like just refreshed attitude and nose to the grindstone. Let's go. Let's hope a big year, too, in the offing. All right, got a U.S. Open leaderboard update coming. Lauren Brooks going to pop in here in a few minutes, give us her thoughts on the final day of mandatory minicamp. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 125th U.S. Open Golf Championship, sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen, made for your brain. We are underway at Oakmont. The first tee shot of the 2025 U.S. Open struck at 6:45 a.m. Eastern by a 34-year-old amateur, Matt Vogt, a dentist from Indianapolis who grew up in Pittsburgh and caddied at Oakmont as a kid. He could fetch a good price for local knowledge. Red numbers are rare today. As of 11 a.m. this morning, only 10 players under par. J.J. Spawn, 4 birdies, no bogeys on his opening 9 to lead at 4 under. Former U.S. Open champion Gary Woodland turned in 3 under without a bogey. Rory McIlroy, no bogeys until his 10th hole. He's now 1 under. The afternoon wave starting at 12:30. Scotty Scheffler going off at 1:25. With this report on the U.S. Open, I'm Whit Watson, Westwood One.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Chicken Salad Chick is now open in Ortega Park on Roosevelt Boulevard. Fresh, scratch-made chicken salad in 12 mouth-watering flavors. Get to Ortega Park and enjoy Chicken Salad Chick, the best chicken salad in Jacksonville.
Want a simple way to boost your company's image without a big renovation? A fresh paint job in your brand's colors can increase recognition up to 80%. At Performance Painting, we help companies stand out with clean, on-brand finishes that impress clients and energize employees. From color consultations to low-odor coatings that won't disrupt operations, we've got you covered. Visit performance-painting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Are you struggling with hair loss?
At IHRS, we understand because we've been there too. We're dedicated to finding the best solution tailored just for you.
My hair looks great. It was thinning, and IHRS restored my hair.
It's now fuller, it's thicker, voluminous. It's made me feel great.
With the latest technology and FDA-approved laser therapy, PRP, and non-surgical hair addition, we offer guaranteed solutions for men and women.
With over 35 years of experience, IHRS found a hair restoration for us, and we can find one for you.
For me.
For me.
And me too.
Visit hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS. Get a free microscopic analysis and get to the root of your problem. This $395 analysis is yours for free. Call 904-777-4477 now.
Jaguars Today Thursday is hitched to Cannons of Jacksonville for all your towing needs.
Attention golfers, Hidden Hills Golf Club is an attractive destination for golfers all over the Southeast. You too will enjoy our classic Arnold Palmer design that will test your game and keep you coming back. Book a tee time at hiddenhillsgc.com.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather now hot as can be, look ahead and get that backyard ready for fall with a new open air or screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. So if you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
Mia O'Brien.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
On Helmets and Heels, noon to 2.
I swear to you, I know her.
Then there's the 1010XL video and social media channels.
I would know her voice anywhere.
All Things Mia is driven by Arlington Toyota.
On 1010XL.
Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today. 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
With Lee and Kate's glass, you're gonna see a big difference. For 100 years, service you can trust. Lee and Kate's glass, depend on us. Glass solutions to meet your needs. Reliable quality guaranteed. Complete customer satisfaction. With Lee and Kate's glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, coming down the stretch here on Jaguars Today. Minicamp is in the books, and they escaped pretty healthy, it appears. JJ Spawn I wouldn't say a healthy lead, but a lead. Nonetheless, at the U.S. Open, 4 under par, 1 ahead of Gary Woodland. It's been that way for a while. Rory McIlroy at one point was 2 under. Started on the 13th hole at 1 under. It's a 621-yard par 5. That's what it's playing today. His second shot was on the grass face of a bunker. He couldn't figure out, landed there. Couldn't figure out whether to put one foot in the sand. He ultimately took them both out. Topped it. Dylan Denmark, did that make you feel better at all, seeing Rory top one?
Oh, this whole golf makes me feel better.
I thought, man, I saw a lot of that on Sunday with Denmark. But anyway, Rory topped it maybe 20 feet. It's so deep, had to punch out to the middle of the fairway. So he just hit his 5th shot, probably pin high, but looked like a 30-footer. That's for bogey. So likely a double bogey will put Rory at +1. That's what my guess would be, but we'll find out. Why don't we play in Lauren Brooks?
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
LB, good morning to you.
Hello.
Always nice to see you.
Good to see you as well.
I know. I mean, you're out there all the time.
I love it. I can't get enough of it. I'm sad that we have to wait now until next month for more practice.
I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we get to do a show or two out there for training camp, which is always a blast. But
didn't you once have Leonard Fournette stop by and he got in trouble?
They got so mad at Leonard Fournette. We're doing a show out there, and Leonard comes out and he's like, just saying hi to us. And Tony and I had the headsets on.
Sure.
This is before practice. They're not even stretching yet.
Right.
And Fournette comes by and we're like, hey, Leonard, sit down. And he sits down for like literally 3 minutes, right? And it was all positive stuff. We're not trying to, we're there promoting what you're doing. Right. And Fournette puts the headset on. He's like, yeah, man, I'm, just looking forward to a great season, whatever he's saying. And one of the assistant coaches walked behind and just looked at him and just rolled his eyes like, I can't believe he's doing this. Like, he's not focused. Like, they mic people up, right? Live in a baseball game. You could have a hot shot hit right at you while you're talking to the broadcaster, but Leonard Fournette can't sit down for 3 minutes before he stretches.
Yeah, so my guess is now, with all the information that we have, had it been another player, they might not have been frustrated, but because Leonard Fournette was not doing what he was supposed to be doing all the time, I think that's why there was that extra level of frustration.
Yeah, you know what they say, seek forgiveness rather than permission. So
absolutely.
If anybody wants to pop on by.
In this business, for sure.
Hey, Trev.
Yeah.
Okay, if you see us out there and you want to sit down, we're not going to say no.
Absolutely.
All right, Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas, the whole lot of you know who you are.
Yeah, speaking of Brian Thomas Jr., so glad to see him back out at practice today. I will say, Mike, I don't know that I've ever seen BTJ not catch a pass on air. Like, he always catches those.
Oh, wow.
And there was one time today that he did not catch a pass and there was no defense. So I don't know if that was because of a little bit of that shoulder from yesterday or if it was just a mistimed thing. But typically, he catches everything. And so, again, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was one rep that he didn't catch. But I was like, all right, at least he's out here.
I'm going to guess it's just called being human because, I mean, I don't think they put him out there if they think he's in any way impeded today, right?
Agree.
Why do that? But that's why I was so happy, Lauren, that they didn't cancel this practice.
Right.
Just now mentally.
Yeah, and they worked hard.
Right. Not only do you have Trevor addressing the sleep, like, here's why I didn't have my usual ramp-up time this offseason. No big deal. He's out there yesterday. He's out there today. Brian Thomas is back out there today. And at least from the reporting I've seen, and we'll ask you, your observation, it sounded like the offense had a good day.
It certainly was better. There were not any of those procedural penalties like Liam Cohen said post-practice, and I didn't see any fumbles. I didn't see any interceptions. So that was all good. I also didn't see the defense with the same juice that they've had. So, again, if you look at it from the big picture, does that mean that the defense was much more excited to have the fans out yesterday and they were getting much more after it as far as pass breakups and the pass rush the last few days, and they weren't as active today? And so that helped the offense. It depends on how you look at it. But, yeah, overall, the offense had a much better day. And I think that's good momentum for them now to take this little break.
All right, we asked a poll question today, and this is based on what Liam Cohen had to say yesterday. But you guys played this cut because we didn't have a chance to get to it at the end of the show, so I hadn't heard it.
Okay.
I get in the car, I'm listening to Helmets and Heels.
Thank you.
Fine program, one of my favorites. Okay, and you and Taylor are discussing everything Liam Cohen had to say, and he played that cut about Anton Harrison. He said he can go when he wants to, and then the next sentence, he needs to be more consistent. In other words, he's telling you he's not seeing it day in, day out, right? And I made the point, hey, Mason Smith last year, same boat, worst boat, right? He was game day inactive a bunch of times, and then he admitted, that's on me.
Right. The difference is Anton wasn't a rookie last year. Mason Smith was a rookie
Understood,
last year.
right? But you also hear Liam Cohen praise Mason Smith for how hard he's working this offseason. So this is not a career-ending indictment on anybody. But we asked today, what are your expectations for Anton in his third year? Pro Bowl level player, unquestioned starter, in a fight for his job, or he'll be a backup. What option do you think is the most accurate?
In a fight for his job.
Yeah.
And the next 6 weeks, to me, Mike, are incredibly important for Anton. I think what Liam Cohen was saying is he may not have showed up in the shape that we expected. And if he doesn't get in that shape in the next 6 weeks before training camp, then it looks like the battle is going to be even, that competition is going to be even stiffer, and he may not win that battle. I think they would like him to improve and to get to the point where he is the starter, because they've seen, well, not this regime, but certainly Tony Baselli has seen firsthand Anton playing really good football his rookie season. So he knows it's in there. But right now, I don't know who starts at right tackle. I don't know. So I do think it's a battle.
Yeah, I mean, look, there are very few sacred cows when you come in with a new regime. Obviously, Trevor was the guy, and you knew that when you signed the paper when you're Liam Cohen coming in. This is kind of, I'm pot committed to him for the foreseeable future. Not the case here. I mean, they went out and got 6 new offensive linemen, as we well know, and that doesn't mean, I think Anton is the most talented tackle that they have, potentially, if he puts it all together. So I hear what you're saying. What he does to prepare his body, but then I think just showing up at that mindset. These guys all, Lauren, hear everything that's said about him. Now,
of course,
I don't think this was Liam Cohen just flying off the handle here.
No.
This is an intentional thing that he's putting out there, speaking it into existence a little bit.
Yeah, what he didn't say is Anton looks sloppy, or Anton's out of shape, or Anton's slow. He didn't say any of that. He just said he can go when he wants to go, and he needs to be more consistent. And so it's the same thing. Like if you end up looking at this roster, they need to push guys, and that's been their message all along. They need to push guys, and the best way you can push a guy is to have another player that's ready to take that spot. And that's, to me, when the pads go on, Liam said this also after practice, training camp is not for when you get in shape. Training camp, you're supposed to show up already in shape for training camp. And so, like I said, the next few weeks for Anton, I think, are massive. And yeah, he's in a battle with Chuma Edoga for sure.
You think that's the primary competition right now?
That's what I would say.
What about Fred Johnson?
I think Fred Johnson is competing for the left tackle spot, but I think when the pads go on, we'll be able to see who looks better, especially against these talented defensive linemen.
By the way, right now, and I agree with you, in a fight for his job, that gets 44% of the vote. I'm surprised it's that low, honestly, right? Unquestioned starter, 41%. So,
wow.
Right. And
I thought backup would have more than unquestioned starter.
41.9 say unquestioned starter, 13% say Pro Bowl level player. So 54% are saying unquestioned starter at the minimum.
Right.
And that may be by the time the season rolls around, right? And, there's only a Twitter poll that has no bearing on the actual outcome.
It doesn't?
No, surprisingly. He'll be a backup getting 1.8% of the vote. By the way, I just saw on the TV, I think I saw Rory at even, which means he made that bomb. He dropped that putt, which is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
big for his confidence, for
25, 30-footer right there. If he can chop it around and, he's hitting 5 out of the fairway from over 100 yards to make a bogey there would be pretty big. He won't be the last guy that bogeys a 621-yard par 5 with 5-inch rough.
Well, you knew that for Rory and his emotional state, coming out and playing well today was going to be important. And obviously his new driver and all that was going to be crucial for him if he's going to have any chance to be able to make the cut, which he didn't obviously last week.
By the way, your boy Jack Caglione, we've kept him under wraps. So for letting you know, for the last couple nights, hasn't been much of an impediment to the Yankees' success. So
well, Jack Caglione is just in his first 10 starts now in Major League Baseball. So I'm sure that it'll take a little more time. But yeah, he went 0 for 5 his very first night. Although he was able to get the bat on the ball.
He's had a hit each of the last 2 nights.
And then good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
but no home runs. I understand.
No RBI, no home runs, and he did get to watch Austin Wells' home run up close at the fence there 2 nights ago as well. So appreciate that. Jeffrey, I didn't realize his name was Jeffrey Allen Caglione. That's where Jack comes from.
Yes.
So there you have
which
it.
people used to call him Jack Tawney because he also pitched at Florida. But he's a much better hitter than he is pitcher. He has,
like Shohei Ohtani. Okay,
yeah.
I got
he
you.
has.
All right.
I saw him pitch in person in Gainesville. He has the speed for sure, the velocity. He can throw 95 plus, 98. The problem is the location, which, as we know, for a lot of pitchers, they can throw the gas, but can they actually put it where they need to? Not always.
It's unfathomable that, like Babe Ruth is an anachronism from a different time and it'll never happen again. And now Ohtani's doing this. Travis Hunter is getting ready to try to accomplish this.
Which he played both ways today in practice. That was the first time we got to see that. And that was pretty cool. All of a sudden you look up and it's like, okay, Travis Hunter's in a white jersey now when he started in a teal jersey. And that is, I think, their plan.
Liam Cohen said as much after practice that, yes, you're going to have to do that, right? And
sure.
But I applaud them for let's not overload him.
Right.
All right, it's last day minicamp. Let's let you get your feet wet because here's what's coming.
Right.
I bet Travis Hunter's been like, I'm ready to go. I'll throw a red penny on. I don't need to change the jersey. I'll flip on every single play. He seems to have that kind of energy. So.
Yeah, I still maintain I think he's a better corner than receiver to this point. And his fluidity, certainly at that position, is impressive. We'll see.
All right, quickly, what is coming up on Helmets and Heels, please?
Yeah, we will talk some Jaguars, of course. Continue this conversation here from Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence, like people have gotten to hear from your show. And we'll also talk to a Colts beat reporter in the second hour of the program.
All right, have a great show.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you stopping by. Lauren Brooks, excellent job covering the Jags minicamp for us here on Jaguars Today. We appreciate her. And I said quickly because I want their show to start on time. We got a U.S. Open leaderboard update coming in seconds. And then our usual commercial break to follow. Helmets and Heels with Lauren and Taylor coming your way for the next 2 hours. Excellent job by Dylan Denmark today. Appreciate Lauren stopping by. Tons of audio. We'll have more. We just scratched the surface of what of the folks who spoke today after practice. Tomorrow, we'll get a full minicamp overview from Mike DeRocco, who will join Tom McManus and I for a segment. ESPN Jaguar reporter Mike DeRocco, and, of course, Tommy Mack will be in for the whole show. For Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Tony Smith will return next week. Thanks for listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Maxwell House coffee will live on forever.
Jaguars Today from